Hola amigos, good evening. This is Carlos Montero. I'm sorry for the noise. This is Carlos Montero from the field, Doha, Qatar. Let's go to the headlines.
Moroccans across the world celebrate historic victory over Spain. The Moroccan national team joined Cameroon, Ghana, and Senegal as the only African nations to make it to the quarterfinals. Only 8 nations remain in the World Cup after 17 straight days of football. And after a 2-day break from the action, the dream of bringing home the World Cup will continue. Today, we will learn how Qatar has become an immense public art gallery after 12 years of preparation for the largest sports festival in the world.
We can see all the Moroccan fans. They did history yesterday. They went to penalty kicks and they make it to the quarterfinal. They are celebrating today. But let's go to see how they make that history for an African team.
Morocco are officially the dark horses of the World Cup. They achieved a huge upset win over Spain and move along with Portugal to the quarterfinals. The hero of Morocco is the goalkeeper Yassine Bono. The Moroccan goalkeeper, who speaks with a perfect Argentine accent, has expressed his passion for Argentine soccer. He's also a fan of River Plate and said that Ariel Burrito Ortega is one of his role models.
Now let's go to the 5 news from this World Cup 2022 that you have to know. Charlie Montero, go ahead.
The Argentine fan, Carlos Maslaton, broke a record at the Qatar 22 World Cup after reaching his goal of watching 32 World Cup matches. The financial analyst announced via Twitter that he surpassed the previous record, which belonged to Thulani Nkobo, of 31 matches in South Africa 2010. Diego Armando Maradona lives on in the hearts of Argentine fans. The legendary player's former home in Buenos Aires opened its doors for a fan fest during Argentina's World Cup games. Brazil became the first country to use all 26 of their players in a single tournament, when Weverton, the third goalkeeper of Brazil, replaced Alisson in a match that was decided in favor of the Canarinha, who advanced to the quarterfinals with a 4-1 victory over South Korea. Mexican deputy Maria Clemente wants to declare Lionel Messi as persona non grata in the country. Ronaldo started on the bench in the game against Switzerland. This is the first time the Portuguese forward didn't form part of the starting 11 in a major tournament since 2008. But his replacement, Gonzalo Ramos, became an unlikely hero as he scored 3 goals and helped his team qualify to the quarterfinals.
Today was a strange day here in Doha. No football. Tomorrow, no football either. And on Friday, they're going to start the quarterfinals. Something strange happened today. For the first time since we've been here, it was raining. It was like the sky was crying too because we don't have soccer. But the one who is not crying, Moroccan, they are celebrating. They're having a great time. They cannot believe it. They make it to the quarterfinal. Let's see their story.
Morocco tied for the best performance of African teams in this tournament. Cameroon in 1990, Senegal in 2002, and Ghana in 2010 also reached the quarterfinals. The team, led by Walid Regragui, defeated Spain in the penalty shootout after drawing 0-0 during the regular and extra time. Both teams had options during the game, but the goalkeepers Unai Simon and Bono did not let the forwards score. In the extra time, both teams attempted, but the result was still 0-0. The penalty shootout was a demonstration of quality from Bono. The Moroccan goalkeeper saved 2 penalties, and the definitive penalty was shot by Achraf Hakimi, who did it at Panenka style. Morocco finished first of their group with 7 points, winning to Belgium and Canada. They only left points in the way with Croatia, after drawing 0-0 in the first game of the World Cup. In 1986, they also finished in the third place, but that year they were eliminated by West Germany 1-0. This time, they defeated Spain and still are undefeated in the tournament. The best players of Morocco during the World Cup have been Hakim Ziyech, Achraf Hakimi, Sofiane Boufal, and Sofiane Amrabat. During the game against Spain, they showed again all their quality and provoked the best chance for the African team.
Before a short break, let's go to the trivia of the day. I told you that there are 2 Latin American teams, Brazil and Argentina, who are going to play in the quarterfinal. And the question today, or trivia, is when was the last time that 2 Latin American teams reached a quarterfinal? We are going to give you the answer at the end of the show. Remember, you can follow us at From the Field on Twitter. You can follow my account, C. Montero Oficial, and TeleSUR English too, to see what's going on here in the World Cup. Let's do a short break, and we'll be right back. This is Carlos Montero from the field here in Doha, Qatar. After 17 days, straight days of pure football, today and tomorrow we have a break. And Friday it's going to start the quarterfinal. There are only 8 national teams alive. Let's see which one of those have more possibilities to reach the semifinals.
The first match of the quarterfinals will be Croatia versus Brazil. The current runner-up arrived after defeating Japan in the penalty shootout. On the other hand, the 5-time champions of this tournament, Brazil, arrived after rolling up South Korea 4-1 in the round of 16 with a spectacular game by the whole team. The winner will face Argentina or Netherlands in the semifinals. The second match of this stage will be Netherlands versus Argentina. The team led by Louis van Gaal has been one of the most solid teams of the World Cup, and in the round of 16 they gave a tactical masterclass to beat the 3-1 to the United States. On the other hand, the Albiceleste, led by Lionel Messi, suffered, but they defeat 2-1 to Australia in a game when they were from more to less. However, they will be in the quarterfinals again. The winner will face Brazil or Croatia in the semifinals. The third game will be Morocco versus Portugal, and it is expected the game marks for the show of see 2 of the best teams of the tournament that had played an offensive football and has potentiated the characteristics of their players. The African team arrived after beating Spain in the penalty shootout and made a deployment of energy and order to attack and defense. On the other hand, Portugal rolled up to the Switzerland 6-1 with the hat-trick of Gonzalo Ramos and a marvelous performance of Bruno Fernandes, Joao Felix and Bernardo Silva. The winner of the match will face England or France in the semifinals. The last match of the quarterfinals will be an attractive game. The the current world champions, France, will face the current runner-up of the Euro Cup, England. Both teams arrive after made statements in the round of 16. The Blues, led by Kylian Mbappe, beat Poland 3-1, while England liquidates Senegal in 20 minutes with 3 goals. The winner will face Morocco or Portugal in the semi-finals.
Last night, Portugal coach, they sent Ronaldo to the bench. They put Gonzalo Ramos, a young player. He scored 3 goals, amazing. I would like to know, who do you think is the most valuable player so far in the World Cup? We have a list for you to choose.
About goals, Kylian Mbappe is the leader with 5 after breaking the tie they had with other players. He scored 2 against Poland in the round of 16 and until now is the golden boot of the FIFA World Cup. Close to him are Bukayo Saka, who scored 1 in the victory of England, and Lionel Messi and Olivier Giroud, who did the same against Australia and Poland respectively. However, in the last game of the round of 16, Gonzalo Ramos, who started as titular in Portugal despite Cristiano Ronaldo, scored 3 goals and became the first titular player that scored a hat-trick in a World Cup. About other statistics, the player who has created more goal occasions is Jamal Musiala, but the midfielder from the Bayern Munich is not longer already in the competition after Germany was eliminated in the group stage. However, Musiala created 19 goal plays. On the other hand, Aurélien Tchouameni from France is the player with the best pass accuracy, with a 97% and 310 passes completed. He also has the most combined tackles and interceptions for any midfielder with 13. Another player that was outstanding during the World Cup was Chesney, who made 23 stops with a media of 5.75 per game. Also, he stopped the 2 penalties that suffered his team. Also, speaking about statistics, the Argentinian Nicolás Otamendi has been, by numbers, one of the best defenders of the tournament. He has won 27 out of the 40 duels he has played, the most of all the defenders in the championship. In the next round, he will face Netherlands, a team that for the positional game can put him in trouble, but for now, he is the best at 34 years old.
Canada, Mexico and USA represent the CONCACAF in this World Cup Qatar 2022. The next World Cup, from 4 years from now, is going to be played there. They're going to be the host team. Let's have a story now about the CONCACAF and how they are preparing for the next World Cup.
For this FIFA World Cup, 4 teams from CONCACAF qualified. Canada, United States, Mexico and Costa Rica got their ticket and they represented the region until the round of 16 with the elimination of the United States. This tournament saw for the second time to Canada and they left the World Cup with no points. However, they showed a good football and quality for the next years. The maximum figure was Alphonso Davies, who scored the first goal for Canada in World Cups against Croatia in the second game of the group stage. On the other hand, Mexico fought until the last match of the group stage. They drew 0-0 with Poland, lost 0-2 with Argentina, and beat 2-0 to Arabia Saudi. They did not show their potential as a team until the game against Arabia, and almost they achieved passing the round. However, the fair play left them out and put Poland in. The Mexicans received 7 yellow cards and the Polish 5. That was the criteria that left them out of the round of 16 for the first time since 1978. Costa Rica suffered in the group stage, however, they set on fire the Group E and were alive until the last match of the phase. They were painfully defeated by Spain 7-0 on the first day, but in the second, they won 1-0 to Japan before losing 2-4 to Germany. However, they were even winning against the German team during the second half. One more time, the Costa Rican team faced the world champion and showed up the quality of the football in that country. The last team of the CONCACAF that was eliminated was United States. The team, led by Greg Berhalter, qualified as second in the Group A and faced Netherlands in the round of 16, but the European team beat them 3-1. This way, they were the only representative of the region in the round of 16. In the next FIFA World Cup, they, along with Mexico and Canada, will host the championship, and it is expected that the performance of all of them will be better than in Qatar.
Let's do a short break, but remember to participate in social media, and I want to say very quick thank you to Barbados, Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, Jamaica, TVJ, Trinidad, TTT, who are taking our signal. You can see us in the Caribbean. From the Field has a trivia of the day. We have to complete a sentence. At the end of the show, we are going to go with all the answers. We'll be right back. This is Carlos Montero from the field. Like I told you before, there were no matches today, so it was a good time for the fans to try to visit Doha, to go to the cultural part, to the museum, and that's what exactly Charlie Montero did. Let's see what he found out.
Qatar surprises you the second you arrive to the airport with monumental works of art, like the 7-meter-tall bear sculpted in bronze that sits peacefully inside a lamp. The work of the Swiss-born contemporary visual artist, Urs Fischer, tries to move travelers with lovely objects from childhood or home.
That caused a lot of fuss at the beginning, and that's kind of the first taste of public reaction. Why would you spend that much of amount on a teddy bear? Well, how does this relate to Doha? This has nothing to, no context to us, but today, if you look at it, you think Qatar.
The idea is that art should envelop visitors from the moment they arrive to Doha until they eventually return home. In the arrival concourse at the Hamad International Airport, the work Untitled by Italian artist Rudolf Stingel portrays Qatar as a small country aspiring to be big. Stingel covered 3 surfaces with reflective aluminum face insulation panels before inviting members of the construction team at the HIA to draw on the soft walls at the time of the airport's construction. The walls were then cast in copper and electroplated with gold before a number of pieces were selected for permanent display at the airport.
Art is part of every society, and at any part of history there is art. But for Qatar's contemporary art, I would say it boomed in the last 10 years. And especially in the last 5 years, it had a very significant boom.
Qatar was one of the first states in the Persian Gulf to promote a public art program. Today, it has more than 100 monument sculptures and light installations. But the football festival incorporated another 40 pieces, a treasure that are not only within the cultural institutions, but can even be found in Public Plaza or the metro station. They can also be found in a commercial area or in the desert itself.
This is the time to think about that. And we are in the World Cup. The World Cup is a time to think about the world, not just about think about who is going to win and who is going to play great football. Of course, I love to play football, and I like to see it too, you know. But I think nowadays there's a new game, a more important game, because now we have the understanding of the whole planet. And I think this is a moment, important moment to think about all of it.
Along with Qatari artists from all over the Middle East and the rest of the world, this Brazilian and Lebanese-American creator, Simon Fattel, exhibits their works in desert areas of northern Qatar, on the outskirts of the Al Subra heritage sites in Ain Mohammed.
So this is a chant. A chant is a prayer. It's a prayer for a new time. It's a prayer for a new earth. It's a prayer for a new humanity. Humanity with more gentleness to each other and also to the planet.
If the idea was to impress the world, then that was achieved by the English artist Damien Hirst with his controversial installation of 14 sculptures. Its 20 million value seems like nothing compared to the $20 billion invested in the Cedar Medical and Research Center in Doha, the first in the region focused solely on the health of women and children. This work, the first nude sculpture in the Middle East, tells the extraordinary story of the reproductive process, starting from the sperm, the egg cell, and the embryo, all the way to a 14-meter-tall bronze baby that weighs 216 tons, that invites you to reflect on life.
Qatar 2022 was the only World Cup that was celebrated in a Muslim country, and the Arabic world is paying extremely attention to what's going on here. And so far they are really happy with the situation, and they are thinking about what they are going to do in the next tournament, like the Asian Cup. Saudi Arabia also expecting to have one day have a chance to be the host of a World Cup like Qatar is doing this time. Let's see that story.
In this sense, Japan, South Korea, and Australia, which although belonging to Oceania participates in the Asian Football Confederation qualifiers, have been the main protagonists with results that leave many astonished. Japan was crowned group leader after defeating high-caliber teams such as Germany and Spain by 2-1 in both games. The Tiger Warriors were able to send Uruguay home and finish second after beating Portugal 2-1, while the Socceroos likewise took second place just behind France after defeating Denmark 1-0 in a defining match. The level of Asian teams has risen exponentially with respect to previous World Cups, as so far only 2 teams from that continent had been able to reach the round of 16 on 2 occasions. In the tournament, held between Korea and Japan in 2002, the Koreans managed to defeat Italy 2-1 in the round of 16 and Spain in the quarterfinals, before losing to the Germans, while the Blue Samurai did not get beyond the round of 16, falling behind Turkey 2-1. In South Africa 2010, neither team managed to advance beyond the round of 16, being eliminated by the South American giants Uruguay and Paraguay respectively. Among the main figures on the Japanese side, Takumi Minamino stands out, a player who has achieved several success with Liverpool and is a key player of the Japanese national team. On the Korean side, Son Heung-min emerges as one of the most prominent stars of Asian soccer, with important results in clubs such as Tottenham, which have enabled him to rise as captain and unquestionable leader of the South Korean national team.
Japan and Korea, they did a fantastic World Cup. They did great, the 2 teams. But what's going on here in Qatar 2022? The Arab world is paying special attention to the organization of this World Cup, because they know they have to show the world that in Asia there is good in football. In the Muslim world, they play football too. Saudi Arabia is thinking that maybe they are going to one day be able to be a host of a World Cup. Let's see the story.
The president of the United Arab Emirates visited Doha this week. In the first such visit since Saudi Arabia and 3 allies ended the boycott of Doha nearly 2 years ago, praising the hosting of the World Cup in Doha as a success for all Arabs. And he congratulated Qatar for hosting the FIFA World Cup. Saudi Arabia is now the sole bidder for the 2017 Asian Cup, and it's evaluating bids to host the 2030 World Cup, alongside Egypt and Greece. The 2017 Asian Cup will become the 4th of 5 editions to be held in the Arabian Gulf region. Qatar also hosted in 2011, and the United Arab Emirates organized the 2019 tournament. Qatar, which hosts the ongoing World Cup, has already organized the Asia Cup twice. Qatarian authorities believe the 2022 FIFA World Cup Qatar presents an opportunity for Africa and the Middle East to learn lessons about the mega event and football. The experience and knowledge of Qatar during the 12 years of preparation for the tournament will be useful for capacity building in the development of football in those regions.
At the beginning of the show, we asked you for a trivia. The question today was, when was the last time Portugal faced Switzerland in a World Cup? The answer is Switzerland defeat 2-1 to Portugal in 1938. Let's see the context of that match.
In 2018, during the FIFA World Cup celebrated in Russia, Brazil and Uruguay reached the quarterfinals. However, both were eliminated in that stage. This time, Brazil is again in the quarterfinals, but the other is Argentina. In 2018, the five-time champions of the world lost against Belgium 2-1, and the two-time champions could not face France, and the current champions beat them 2-0. In 4 years, things have changed a lot. This time, they are favorites to advance to the next round. Brazil will face Croatia, the current runner-up, and Argentina will face Netherlands. In case of a victory for the Latin American teams, they will fight for the pass to the final in the semifinals.
Let's stay here in social media, Twitter. You have to complete the sentence. The sentence was, we will see on December with Charlie Montero. Very happy Messi. Tai Caliado, Brazil lift the cup. David Soritz, Ronaldo lifting the cup. The one I like the best so far is Charlie Montero. Very happy Messi. Let's hope for this. Let's see how they do on Friday. That was all for today. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Hasta mañana, amigos.